Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello, and welcome to spooky season. It is October, and we are reading from the Witches Tarot, which I think is super spooky deck. It's witchy season. It is the season of the witch, however you want to put that. And I've had this deck for a really long time, but I haven't gotten a chance to share it with you guys because I've been trying to figure out, should I try to use the very photorealistic nude photos that are in this, or should I pull them all? And I've decided just to pull all of those, so I'm not playing with a full deck, per usual, I suppose. And we are going to go through them. That way I won't be pulled off of YouTube for excessive nudity or anything like that. I don't know. You never know with the internet how things are going to go. So also it appears that we have some friends in the background. Solaris and Dizzy are hanging out with us today. So without further ado, let's see what card we have for today. All right. This is another of the major arcana cards. So, of course, it's got the little Roman numeral down here, which is an X or a 10. And it does say justice. And finally, they have chosen to use some darker font so that you can actually see the words. I appreciate that. I love the fact that these images go all the way to the edge, although, as I've said in others, it's sometimes really nice to have that border that you can put words in and important information in so that it doesn't get lost in the image and so the image isn't intruded upon by like random words like this. But in this case, I think it works, and yes, they have finally chosen a darker font, so I appreciate that. The justice in this case does have the typical scales. That is a feather and a heart. And interestingly, the heart has like a heartbeat rhythm on it, written on it. I don't know how easy that is to see, but it's a nice little detail, I think, because while it's not the typical, like this is a heart anatomically correct, it's just kind of a heart, but it's got the heartbeat in it. She's also holding her sword. This is actually a very typical looking justice card. There's nothing about it that blows my mind and is like, wow, that's a new and unique way of showing justice. So I don't have a whole lot to say about the way this card looks. I will say that justice really is about those scales and weighing the deeds you have accomplished or the things you have done against the greater good or against your soul, etc. So it's kind of a reap what you sow sort of card when this comes up. And yeah, she definitely looks like she's not taking any BS from anybody in the sense of like, oh, but I didn't mean it that way and that kind of thing. If your heart is good and your intentions are good, then your heart will balance. If not, well, then sorry, too bad. She's probably gonna use a sword on you. I like the red and the yellow on here. I'm not super certain what the meanings of it is. There's a couple of symbolisms in these cards that I think is even more esoteric than I'm prepared to go, but I'm sure it has some deep dark meaning that I probably should know by this point, but let's be real, I never was like traditionally educated in tarot. I learned from what my grandmother taught me, I learned from books, and I learned from my own gut. So that's how I'm balancing this scale on that is I'm not super sure and I'm willing to be honest about it. If you have any idea what the yellow and the red might represent, other than possibly planetary conjunctions, you've got Mars and Mercury, maybe. So you've got like that kind of war and communication aspect, wrath and communication. I don't know. I'm truly grasping at straws at this one. Why the red and yellow is valuable in this. I will say that the individual that they have chosen is a little bit curious as well because the weighing the heart and the feather is a very Egyptian mythological sort of thing. And she definitely doesn't look of Egyptian descent. Maybe Greek, maybe? I'm not sure. But her complexion is definitely not of the Egyptian uh, culture. So that's a little bizarre to me. I like the idea of it, but maybe a different complexion, just some different physical characteristics to this woman. But she is definitely more traditional in the way justice looks. She is wearing the crown, she is holding the sword and the scales, And all of those things are represented. So it's very simply, yes, this is a justice card. If you have any questions about that, it is very clearly written on here in the dark font. So I don't have a whole lot to say about this one other than, hey, decent, good job on this one. You're not going to confuse anybody. You're not being weird. So yay, this is a good justice card. That's all I got for that one. Sorry, guys. And the way I feel about it, as we go through these cards, I promise you there's going to be a few that are a little bit weird, and there's going to be some that blow my mind and how awesome they are. That's just not one of them. I also don't have a deep connection to the Justice card unless it is like mind-blowingly cool. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay spooky. Bye!